Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be looking at Deep Rock Galactic and how to get some overclocks if you're maybe struggling to get your hands on some extra damage and perks for your class. So, I've got each class relatively leveled up, but the one you're going to want to pick is the Scout. The reason for this is it has the grappling hook that you can explore maps the fastest, making it the best chance to find your machine events. Now, the kind of mission that you want is point extraction because it has big circular rooms, and that's generally where the machine events have a chance to spawn. It doesn't matter what hazard you end up putting it on, as you'll get the overclock all the same, and putting on a lower hazard just makes it easier to complete. Now, there is deep dives as well for when you've prestige characters to get some more overclocks and some blank matrix cores. You can see right beside my credits in the top right how there's the number 2, and that shows the blank matrices that you use for the events. So we're going to start this mission up. Now what we will be looking for is a small box on the ground. Once I get to it, I will show you what it looks like. Now again, the reason that we end up picking the Scout is we get this grappling hook here, as well as the flare gun. We can get around nice and quick here, just about anywhere that we want to. Just gotta be careful not to fall large distances. Now you don't want to take too long exploring each map. As we can see, we have the prospector right there. But again, just one big room. There isn't a bunch of small caverns that you have to go through, making it so that you can check the entire map the fastest. It doesn't have a guarantee chance to spawn each and every time, but this just makes it more efficient. So it usually takes, I want to say, maybe 15-20% chance for it to spawn. And it's just faster to explore the entire map on point extraction than it is for you to dig through all the tunnels in, let's say, Morkite extraction and such. And it's pretty obvious where it is once we find it. So we've pretty much checked out all the main spots that it would spawn there. And since we didn't get it right away, we're gonna abort the mission and rinse and repeat. Because we're not doing this for experience and resources, we just want to get the events to use the matrix cores on. So now we're going to run through here real quick, and as I said, rinse and repeat. Any point extraction generally works. And again, hazard 1. I'm going to start that up. We're just going to rinse and repeat this process until we get the machine event. Now, once you end up getting the machine event, it will give you an option to select between different classes, both cosmetic overclocks as well as weapon overclocks. You're usually going to want to pick the weapon overclocks unless you're fortunate enough to have all of them. Now, I forgot to check how long it took us the first time, but I think it was 2, maybe 3 minutes to explore the bulk of the area. And it will usually be on a flat spot of the map. So we're just going to continue through here. Takes a bit of getting used to with how much range your grappling hook has. But once you do, you'll find it is much faster than any of the other classes to move around. Generally speaking, you'll just ignore any type of enemies that you run into. Okay, boom. Here's our machine event. That looks like various things, but there's one thing that always stays the same, and it's this little box. So what we do is we insert the key here. This one has separate platforms. This is going to be the tower. It's more or less the hardest of the machine events to complete, simply because the stuff does a good amount of damage. So you insert the key, and you go over to the 4 sides here and activate the buttons. And it's going to start the event. Now, it's going to have the separate sides and a charging pad. So there's 3 things that have immunity there. Now we can jump over this, and we'll want to stand on this until that says 100%. Then you'll see those green lights sticking out. Now, my personal choice is most definitely the Scout's second primary, as a charge shot can 1 to 2 shot the buttons pretty easily, making it one of the more convenient things and weapons to choose to target the weak spots. Okay, so there the first one is. We want to try and avoid that spotlight as much as possible, because that's the one that hits really hard, making it the more difficult event. Even on Hazard 1, it was just eating through the shield and health. So stand on this. We have one more button to go. And then once you finish the event, and again, it's not always this same event. Sometimes you'll get the rock glyphids, the little rock bugs, and for those you have to mine them to kill them, just like you would a wall. And you have to do that to a certain amount of enemies. And then the other one worth mentioning is you have to kill flying glyphids, and they will drop a yellow resource. It looks just like your regular larger chunk resource, like the aquarks there that you can dig out. And then the fourth one, which is probably the easiest one, you do by it drops a pod that you grab explosives from and you just toss it over at the large clump of mining ore. So anyways, we finished the event. We have the matrix cores that we can insert here, and we can only do one per event. But we insert it here, and this will open up giving us three options here. So I have a gunner weapon overclock, a driller weapon overclock, as you can see through the weapon and the hammer, or there is a scout cosmetic. Now, me myself, I do love the driller, so we're going to select the driller overclock. Now that we finished the event, we don't have to extract or do anything. As you saw, compact feed valves was the overclock. We're going to then abort the mission now that we grabbed our overclock. And I will go over to the station just to show you that you do end up keeping it. Now again, all in all, including the first time that we were searching, that took probably about 3 minutes on the first and 6 minutes on that second one that we just did. So 10 minutes per machine event on an average versus you doing a mission that takes 20 to 30 minutes and maybe not even finding it. It's a pretty handy way to go about things. So right there is the one that we ended up getting, the compact feed valves for the flamethrower. And again, don't forget about your weekly core hunts and your deep dives to get yourself some more of those cores with the blank matrices and the overclocks. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and happy mining, everybody. Have a great day.